Holy moly. Okay. It is Justin, your guide into the other side, and we have some huge news. Pretty polarizing news in my opinion. So why don't we jump right into it? Let's compile all of the important information and a couple takes that I saw on my timeline. Of course, I can't cover everything, but both sides of the aisle. So Yuga Labs has acquired Proof XYZ, which includes the Proof Collective, Moonbirds, Mythics, Oddities, and Grails exhibition series. So for more information, see the official news blog. So we'll take a look at the blog in just a moment. But honestly, the timeline has been on fire. Discord has been blowing up like insanity right now. So let's just kind of see why. So I think Seo asked a pertinent question. He said, why though? Curious about the thought process behind it. So we'll get into that. So I think Garga responded here. He said, this was an all-stock deal on Yuga's part. Wouldn't have stood behind it if I didn't think it was a value add for both my baby, the Bored Ape Yacht Club and Otherside, and the Proof/Moonbirds ecosystem. So what is inside of the news blog? And currently, I can't read the title unless this needs to get fixed. But anyways, Yuga Labs acquires Proof. So what's inside? Yuga Labs, the leading Web3 lifestyle and media company, interesting wording there, and creators of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Otherside, 12-fold, and owners of Meebits, CryptoPunks, and 10KTF has acquired Proof, which includes the Proof Collective, Moonbirds, Oddities, Mythics, and Grail exhibition series. So the acquisition of Proof's assets, including its team, intellectual property, and artistic portfolio, aligns with Yuga's vision to become the front door of Web3. So Yuga will start bringing Moonbirds into Otherside. That's a very interesting path now. So Moonbirds and Otherside, the place where content creators, communities, and brands will come together to participate in the social fabric of Web3. Okay. So as a company committed to championing art, culture, and community on the blockchain, we're excited to have Proof join the Yuga ecosystem, says Daniel Allegre, CEO of Yuga Labs. Moonbirds is a collection with great potential and many unifying brand elements with Otherside. And we look forward to the Proof Collective becoming an important part of our ongoing art and community engagement efforts. And we also have a quote here from Kevin Rose. So Kevin Rose, CEO and founder of Proof, will undergo a brief handover period before becoming an advisor to the company. In addition, with the Proof team that will move over to positions at Yuga, Josh Ong, Jesse Bryan, and Amanda Gadbo will oversee the transition of the Moonbirds collections and other key elements to the Yuga ecosystem. So we're very excited to bring Moonbirds into Otherside, and it's the perfect home and future for our collectors, says Kevin Rose. With Proof Collective on board, it shows Yuga's commitment to digital fine art, and our combined resources will allow us to innovate faster and reach more people. It's going to be an exciting journey. And exciting it is because the timeline is very, very polarized right now. Everything's kind of wild. So I also wanted to cover Garga's response here, follow up. He said, wanted to share some general thoughts behind the Proof/Moonbirds acquisition. I've always loved the Moonbirds and Proof. I hear the concerns about this acquisition potentially diluting Yuga's focus and that we're taking on too many things. That was a concern for me too. So here's why we made the decision with eyes wide open about what this meant and how this would help us execute on our goals. So I have a lot of admiration for folks on the Proof team. So getting to know Justin, Felix, and others on the team has been awesome, and I'm excited to where this team can cook at Yuga. So number 2, as I mentioned, this is an all-stock deal for the Proof team and resources. That means more for us to build with us across our ecosystem, the faster and better. Number 3, I think the CCO move from Moonbirds was a mistake, and Figgy and the team have a bunch of thoughts on that and what that might mean going forward. So too early to say, but it's something I'd love for us to solve in order for the Moonbirds ecosystem to reach its potential. And number 4, the Proof Collective team is coming over pretty much intact to finish what they have been cooking, but Wiley and I have a lot of ideas for what a team like this could do in the art space in the future, and they have some sick ideas of their own as well. So, TLDR, more talent and resources enable faster and better execution across Yuga. So, there's been a couple of responses on the timeline. I'm sorry I can't read them all, but I think, of course, I respect Adam Hollander on the timeline, and I think he speaks for a lot of the Yuga community, just in general. So, my initial reaction, I fucking hate this. Great for Moonbirds holders who wanted an exit. Nothing wrong with them celebrating it. But Moonbirds has been one of the worst run projects in the history of NFTs. They made close to 100 million and didn't follow through on their promises, and they were supposed to build a metaverse world and then canceled it. So they guaranteed IP rights to holders and then stripped them away without asking. So it was an absolute mess, and Kevin doesn't deserve to be rewarded publicly like this for it. Now he gets to be an advisor to Yuga when Yuga is already under fire for not listening to its own community constantly. So I'm gonna go calm down, but my initial reaction is fucking sell everything, and Yuga needs a new CEO. So pretty uh, pretty interesting response from Adam. We also have a follow up too. So, I'm honestly just sad right now. Put aside all of the business decisions why this acquisition might or might not make sense. Yuga acquiring Moonbirds and bringing Kevin on as an advisor is essentially putting a stamp of approval on what they did as a project. So that's the most offensive and tone deaf thing I could have imagined Yuga doing in this moment. So Yuga is a leader in the space, and I believe they should be condemning the types of decisions Moonbirds made over the last 2 years, not rewarding them. So I've been critical of many of Yuga's decisions, but the criticism always comes from a place of genuine love and admiration for the club, and it was just because I wanted them to be successful. I wanted to help, right? And this is the first time it felt different, because this feels like a betrayal of values. Going to take some real time to reflect, but not sure there's going to be any coming back from this one for me. And then we also had Illa respond here, saying, "Hey Adam, I understand your concern. Kevin Rose will not be working in an operational capacity at Yuga outside of his immediate transition support, which is a couple of months. He'll move into an advisory role for Proof and Moonbirds, not the Bored Ape Yacht Club." And then Adam also responded, "Thanks, Illa. Appreciate the additional context. But to be honest, that doesn't change my feelings above. He's been put on a pedestal by Yuga and is being rewarded. If Yuga had positioned this differently, that Moonbirds was let down by their team and Yuga was coming in to save the project, it would have been easier to get behind it. But that's not what happened. So, of course, a lot of things, response by the community here. I just wanted to cover everything in general. I know I can't cover everybody, but I also wanted to cover Journey's response as well. Journey Crypto is a very large presence in Otherside meta, so pretty long term, especially building. So we'll have to kind of break it all down. I'm losing my breath here, guys. I'm trying to go through everything. So Journey Crypto said about Yuga Labs acquiring Proof and Moonbirds. The general opinion I'm seeing is this doesn't make sense, and that's a very, very valid thought, right? Yuga has been going through a very hard time with rebuilding community sentiment and making some entry-level mistakes in creating value for their existing projects. And now they just took on another project with 5+ collections. So again, totally understandable. There's a lot of things with 10KTF, Meebits, and a lot of the relationships that Yuga has with its, its direct IP as well as its partners. So we'll have to see how that factors in. But if we continue, in my opinion, this is part of their long-term strategy with their metaverse plans, Otherside, and becoming the Disney of Web3. So Moonbirds is a proven brand that took some wrong turns, but this can be easily recovered under new leadership going into a bull market. So Moonbirds has massive IP potential, which they will likely pursue heavily. So accumulate many top IPs in the space and then utilize them through future products and new ventures. So I have a feeling Yuga is going to be much bigger than expected. This is just my general opinion on the acquisition. Will it actually play out this way? Only time will tell. But this is definitely a long-term play. So, a lot of stuff on the timeline right now. Personally, I'm just stepping back. I don't necessarily know what to think. On one hand, I do like IP acquisitions. I do like seeing multiple communities coming into Otherside. And then on the other hand, there are some missteps that the Moonbirds projects has made, of which I'm not necessarily too privy or understand. But overall, it's just kind of a rough space in the current moment for Yuga and things going forward. But that's yet to be seen. We still have a lot of stuff on the board, and of course, Apes Come Home and all that stuff in the meanwhile. So we have to see how everything executes out throughout 2024, especially as things go along, because I know things are crazy right now, guys. Some people for it, some people are about it, some people for it, some people not. And of course, that's all I gotta say. Definitely know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, because this was totally out of the blue. I had no clue this was coming, and still don't necessarily know what they think about it. So definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Always helps me create more content. We'll just have to see how things are going forward. But otherwise, see you guys on the other side. Peace.